welcome back to Cruising as Crew. My name is Lucy and today I'm going to be going through some things that Virgin Voyages do so much better than other cruise lines when it comes to their crew members. But before we start, please press like and subscribe if you enjoy my cruise ship content, and if you have any video suggestions or questions you can leave them in the comments down below, or you can DM me over on Instagram at Cruising as Crew and I will be sure to get back to you. But as for now, let's get into it. So the first thing I want to mention, crew members have free Wi-Fi when they are on board. This is a huge deal. I have worked for other cruise lines, I have friends who work for many other cruise lines, and you have to pay for Wi-Fi. And you spend a lot of money on Wi-Fi, especially now after COVID. We can't get off the ship. You can't go off in port and find some cafe that offers free Wi-Fi. You have to use the Wi-Fi that the ship supply. On my first contract when I was in Australia, I spent £800 on Wi-Fi in one contract. That is a lot of money to spend on Wi-Fi. So the fact that Virgin supply free Wi-Fi for their crew members is, well, and their sailors, is incredible. It's so important to us crew members to be able to keep in contact with our friends and family back home. It can significantly affect our mental health, and it really is something that in this day and age Virgin feels is a necessity. It is a necessity, especially when you work on a cruise ship for months at a time. So the main thing that I am over the moon that Virgin supply is free Wi-Fi. They also supply our laundry detergent. So obviously as crew members have to do laundry on the ship. We don't have to pay to use the laundry machines, but we do have to buy laundry detergent. Well, not anymore. Virgin Voyages is supplying us with laundry detergent, so we don't even have to pay for that. And that is just to wash our regular clothes. If we want our uniform wash, we can have that dry cleaned and we don't even have to do that ourselves. They also supply hand soap and shampoo in every crew cabin. Now the shampoo, you know, if you're like me and you're quite picky about shampoo, then you're probably not going to use it, but for all the guys on board who aren't that bothered, it's perfect. You don't have to buy shampoo and you don't have to buy hand soap. So those are 4 things that Virgin Voyages are supplying that no other cruise line supplies, which is amazing. When you work on a cruise ship, you do get your food and drink for free. However, the crew mess is renowned for having a very limited choice. On other ships I've been on, there was like a curry option. You could maybe have like chips or pizza. There was salad, but when I say salad, it was like soggy lettuce and the tomatoes and cucumber that the passengers didn't eat before. You had to make the best of it. There were some interesting concoctions that I made just trying to like get some good food. And on every ship I've been on, there have been 3 messes. So there is the crew mess, the staff mess and the officers mess, and they are ranks. So the crew mess usually consists of people from India and the Philippines, so the food in there is a lot of rice, curries, a lot of Eastern cuisine. Then you get to the staff mess and it's literally burger and chips, beans, like Western food, but like really unhealthy Western food. And then you go to the officers mess, and that is 100 times better than the crew and the staff mess. They've got salmon, they've got salad, they get fresh veg. So basically, depending on what your rank is, you eat better. Well, on Virgin, they have 1 mess and it's incredible. Firstly, it's decorated really nicely. It's a really lovely space to be. Unlike other ships where the mess is, you can tell they've done the bare minimum, but Virgin have really taken the time to make it a really nice eating space. The fact that there's only 1 mess means that everyone eats the same. So no matter what rank you are on board, whether you are an officer or whether you are, you know, working in the laundry department, you eat the same. We're all human, we're all equal, we all deserve the same food options. And let me tell you, the food options are amazing. There's a salad bar, but it's fresh salad, and there isn't just like lettuce, cucumber and tomatoes. There's olives, there's feta cheese, pine nuts, couscous, carrot, like there's a whole variety of things. You of course have the Western cuisine, you also have the Eastern cuisine, but there's fresh veg on offer, there's fresh fish, there's a carvery on there, so there's someone stood behind the glass carving the meat of the day, whether that's lamb, beef, chicken. There's always a lovely dessert selection and fresh fruit, you know, apples, pears, peaches, which, trust me, it sounds basic, but it's not. Like, on other ships, you'd really struggle to get your hands on a piece of fresh fruit, like an apple or something. A banana, I mean, God, if there were bananas in the mess, people went crazy. This is by far the best mess I have ever had the privilege of eating in. And also, eating is a time to be social for a lot of people. And when you have 3 different messes, it means that the officers mix with the officers, the staff mix with the staff, and the crew mix with the crew. I've only been here a few weeks, and already I've made friends with people who are in like every department, because you end up sitting with them for lunch. So I find that it's actually a lot easier to make friends because there's only one dining hall. Also in the mess they have a really nice coffee machine, so you can get an Americano, an espresso, a flat white, a latte, you know, you can get a really nice coffee. It's in the mess, so it is free of charge. Normally if you want a nice coffee when you are on board, you have to go to the coffee shop and buy one, because the coffee in the mess is just, it's not worth drinking. So the fact that I don't even have to pay for coffee, which for me was another huge expense on my previous contracts, it's gonna save me so much money. Another thing that we had to pay for, which is actually a bit shocking now I think about it, was water. So every week they would have like water day. You go and you buy, I don't know, like 6 or 12 big bottles of water to keep in your cabin, and it wasn't expensive. It was like $3 for a, you know, 6 bottles of water or something. But the fact is, you had to buy water. You can't drink the tap water, and obviously it's a lot of plastic bottles. On here, no single-use plastics, so everyone has been supplied with a Virgin Voyages water bottle, and there are water stations throughout the crew areas where you can get ice cold drinking water. So obviously no single-use plastics, and we don't have to buy water. On Virgin Voyages, there is not a prominent ranking system. So if you've worked on cruise ships or you've been a passenger on cruise ships, you will know that officers walk around and they have their stripes on their shoulders. Well, not on here. Virgin Voyages have abolished that. So everyone's uniform is quite casual, but smart. No one has stripes on their shoulders, and no one has their position labelled on their name badge. So normally, like, I would have Lucy and then shop assistant. But on here, I just have my name. The captain will just have his name. The first officer just have his name. So unless you know that person and get talking to them, you will not know what they do. It just means that you get talking to everyone and you're able to make friends with everyone. Although you should treat everyone equal, I do feel like having the ranking system, having your value literally marked on your shoulders, definitely does mean that people don't get treated equally. Whereas being on here and witnessing what it's like not to have a prominent ranking system, everyone really is treated as equals. No one speaks any differently to me as they would to the captain. It has just created such a wonderful environment to work in. And I don't think that's just because of the ranking system, you know, I think they've just done a fantastic job of hiring really lovely people, but I do think not having a prominent ranking system has helped. On Virgin Voyages, the salaries are better. So usually other cruise lines will offer quite a low salary, but then this salary will be bumped up by tips that the passengers give. Virgin Voyages are offering an all-inclusive ticket price because they don't want any hidden costs, which means that passengers will not be tipping at the end of their cruise. So they offer a higher salary because obviously it's not going to get bumped up by tips. But this is amazing because it means people know what they're getting. When you have a low salary and it gets bumped up by tips, maybe some months you'll get a 700, maybe some months you'll get 1,200. Whereas having a higher salary and not relying on tips, you know what you're going to get every month, and it just means that you can make decisions based off that. And also, you're not relying on passengers to pay your salary. Your company is paying your salary. So I think it is a marvellous thing, and everyone who I've spoke to are really happy about it. Speaking of like salaries and stuff, it's a lot easier to get promoted on Virgin Voyages than it is on other cruise lines. So usually if you work in the kitchen, if you work in the laundry, if you work in housekeeping, you have to do quite a few contracts before they will consider you for a promotion. So you might have to be working for the company for like 4 or 5 years before you get promoted. Whereas Virgin Voyages are really keen for people to progress through the company. They want this to be the best job of your life. They want you to want to be here and absolutely love your job, and they want you to grow through the company and progress. So for the majority of jobs, they are expecting that you will do 1 to 2 contracts and then you will be promoted. Ideally after 1, obviously some people it's going to take longer, but that is a really new thing in the industry because, as I said, it usually takes a hell of a lot longer to work your way up through the ranks. They have 3 crew bars, which for a ship of this size, normally you have 1, maybe 2. So the fact that they have 3 really lovely crew bars as well is amazing. Virgin Voyages have more single occupancy crew cabins. So this means less crew members have to share a cabin and more people get their own space, which is so important. Because as much as I have enjoyed my experiences sharing cabins, it is just so lovely to have your own space. You know, if you want to have the TV on, you can. If you want to have a shower at 3 in the morning and dry your hair, you can, because you're not going to wake someone up. If you want to play your music, you can, and not have to worry whether the other person doesn't want you to play music. So I think it's wonderful that there are a lot more crew that get their own space, because you really do need that time on your own to just decompress, especially if you've had, you know, a long day at work, you've been talking to people all day, whether that's crew or sailors. You just need time to be quiet and be with yourself. The laundry room on here is amazing. So there are 2 crew laundry rooms. They are huge compared to other ships. So there are a lot of washers and dryers, which is amazing, because normally you end up like fighting for a washer and a dryer, especially if it's an old ship and you might have a laundry room that has like 3 washers and dryers in and 2 of them are broken. So you have 1 washer and dryer between like 200 crew members. Yeah. This is why I always say I hate doing laundry, because that was what it was like. Whereas on here, in one laundry room, I think there's 15 washers and dryers, ironing boards with irons that actually work. So it's such a lovely experience, because you go in the laundry room and 9 times out of 10, there's a washing machine free and you can just bung your stuff right in. You don't have to sit there being like, right, I've got to try and get the next one. So when I got on board a few weeks ago, I had a meeting with my managers, and something that they asked me, which I was quite taken aback by, was, you know, like how do you like to be communicated with, and how do you learn best? If I have to tell you something like this, how would you respond best? How are you best taught? And it's something I have honestly never been asked before. But after speaking to other crew members, every manager has asked their team members this. So they really are treating us like individuals rather than just crew members, speak to everyone the same. You know, they're like, no, she needs to be spoken to like this, or he would respond best if he was told this information like this. And maybe my expectations are really low, but I was really blown away by the fact that they are, you know, asking us how we learn best and thrive. It was nice. And like going off from that, Virgin Voyages are really promoting like individuality. They say, we've hired you because you're you, because you have your personality. We want that to shine through. And that just shows, you know, they're hiring people with crazy hair colours and piercings and tattoos, which is revolutionary. No cruise company hires people with piercings and tattoos. Not prominent piercings and tattoos, sleeves and face piercings and stuff. That isn't a thing. But they're like, no, we recognise that you will do an amazing job and you have a really cool personality that we want you to show the world. And I just think that's great. I just think that's fantastic, because whenever I've gone on holiday, whether it's on land or a cruise, the experience is made so much better by the people who work in the hotel or on the ship or wherever you are. So it completely makes sense that Virgin are trying to cultivate an environment where people feel free to be themselves, because it's going to make the sailors' experience when they come on their voyage so much more enjoyable and memorable. You know, they're going to remember certain personalities, certain crew members that they met. They're like, oh yeah, she was really flamboyant, or he was really sassy. And also, it's lovely for us because we feel like we can just be who we are. Whatever department you work in, the uniform is going to be casual. So like my uniform is a t-shirt, jeans and trainers. Everyone's shoe is a trainer. It's just so comfortable. They're like, you know what, we know you work long hours, you want to be comfortable in your uniform. You don't want to have to wear a shirt and a tie when you're running around like a blue-ass fly. So they've made the uniforms really comfortable, really flattering, but also smart. And they are completely provided by the company. So I know that for other companies, some departments, they have to purchase their own uniform, but Virgin are like, no, we're going to provide that for you. So I have not had to buy any uniform. I haven't even had to buy steel toe cap shoes. They provide them as well. I'm chuffed. Honestly, there are so many more things that I could mention that they do better than other cruise lines, but this video is long enough as it is. I'm just so thrilled to be here, so happy with the changes that Virgin Voyages are hopefully going to make to the cruise industry as a whole, and I think that they are doing an amazing job. already, and we haven't even launched yet. But thank you so much for watching, guys. I really hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have, then please hit the like button and the subscribe button. It would really mean a lot to me. And if you have any video suggestions, please leave them in the comments down below, or you can DM me over on Instagram at cruisingascrew. And I really do want to hear your video suggestions. I love to know what you guys want to see, because I want to make stuff that you want to watch. But anyway, that is it for now. So I hope you have a fantastic rest of the day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.